We are here with Jason Grondin, and we are going to have a little talk to him about his art and the history of his art and everything about him. Today we are going to ask him what it's all about. Hello Jason, how are you?
Good, thank you. Thanks for coming in.
You're welcome. Okay, so let's start from the beginning. What can you tell us about your beginning? How everything started for you? How the whole thing about painting and expressing yourself through painting started?
Okay, well, I've always been into art. You know, as a young child, always drawing and playing with art in every kind of way I could. It probably wasn't until in college I took a history of art course at Coulson College, and that really opened up my eyes about the whole world of art outside of our little Victoria. And from there I started leaning more towards becoming an artist. I went to film school for a while, for a year, and was interested in that and maybe possibly thinking of doing that as a profession, but I soon found out it just wasn't for me. I'm more into being locked in a studio than running around the streets until the wee hours of the film industry. So then I just kept playing around with art and took some small courses here and there, nothing major, mostly self-taught, and started painting more for myself in the beginning until about 5 years ago I started really thinking of it as something I want to do as a profession. And then was lucky enough to hook up with artists in town and be involved in art groups and showing around town, and had lots of little shows here and there around town. And then got that kind of built into what the gallery here is today, Collected Works, which is an artist-run gallery. And from there started having shows, and this is my second show here at the gallery. And it's just been great because gives you real focus to get a body of work together and to show it, and just get it out there and see what people think.
So what can you say when you start a painting? Do you plan your painting, or do you have the final result in your mind already?
Okay. Usually for me, I work in two directions. One direction is it's planned out. I work on an image, and I try to convey the feelings and bring something out from that. These paintings here are worked from pictures I've come across in my travels, and I've really mapped these out and tried to bring something out from that. After I've been working in this kind of style, I always react in a different direction, and that's with my other style, which is a more spontaneous style and a loose style, where I just want to have fun and see what happens.
Jason, do you get attached to your paintings? Are they some paintings that are difficult for you to sell because of the attachment to them?
Definitely. Yeah, there's definitely certain paintings, once I'm done and finished, it's just impossible to imagine giving them up and selling them. when I first started painting, it was more for myself, and I didn't really have the thought of selling at all back in those days, but once in a while somebody would like one of those paintings and ask if there's for sale, and I was always saying no. But when I decided to try to make the leap to being a professional artist, I had to start painting with the idea of selling in the back of my mind, so that the attachment isn't so strong that it's going to be really hard for me to give them up. But it still happens that I have pieces that people would like to have, and I just can't sell them because I painted them for myself. With this show, it was, I'm thinking more of trying to sell. I do have a couple paintings here that are not for sale because I feel that they're too personal for me, and I can't imagine selling them. But it's always a hard thing to do.
Jason, I see you have some sculptures here in your in this show. So, are you working the idea of sculptures, or do you start just now, or you started in the past working with sculptures?
I've always been playing around with sculptures, and as you can see, it's mostly found objects that I come across here and there. At home, outside my studio, I have a box of objects that I find here and there, and I throw them in the box. And then every so often, usually when I've been painting quite a bit and I kind of need a break from that, I empty the box out and see what kind of crazy creature I can make and have fun with that. I also like to put a sculpture in my show just to show another side of myself. And usually they're fun and kind of quirky, and just to get a laugh out of people, even if anything.
So I see these crows hanging out here. What's the whole story about the crows?
Well, the crows to me represent nature, and they're always there, just like nature is always there. And they're flying over our heads, free, and just living when we're all down below, struggling and trying to make ends meet. The crows and birds are flying through the air, and they're just a part of life. These are made out of twigs that I've been collecting, and I thought it'd just be kind of fun to see if I could make something that would look like a crow from the birds. From the twigs. I think it worked well with the fine tips of the twigs having that feeling of feathers.